Stuttering at John Melendez, guys. His new podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, Lisbon, Pandora, and wherever else you get your fine podcast facts. Podcast casting. I don't know. I can't. There he is. You know him from two pretty big shows. One being Howard Stern, the other being Jay Leno. And his podcast is great. He very much Barbara Walters me on it on a recent episode.
I can't hear any.
Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, now I can hear you. Perfect.
All right, perfect. All right, and John, you're on with Cooper Lawrence, new book,
Hey, Cooper, this was so hard for me to figure this thing out. I'm an idiot.
No problem. I still haven't figured out. That's why I'm happy I'm in the safety of our own studio. Well, John, how are you doing? I got any upcoming guests that we should be looking out for? The show remains great. Can you hear me?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Bill?
Good. And again, this is Joanne. I'm glad you finally got to meet her.
Hello.
She's more fun to look at.
Hi, Joanne.
What's up?
Nothing much. It appears that I'm on some kind of 7-second delay.
I know. Well, we know you have a potty mouth, although you can't say anything on this show. I'm sorry about that. There is a bit of a delay. I guess we can do this in a very staccato way where he could hear everything without us interrupting. But we found a story that you might have some comments on with regards to your old boss and some advice.
The Black Mamba Method. Howard Stern to Ellen DeGeneres. If you're a jerk, own it. We've heard lately that a lot
I gotta tell you.
Go ahead.
I gotta tell you, when I saw this, when I read that, when he told Ellen DeGeneres, if you're a jerk, own it, I'm like, why don't you, Howie? Why don't you? You've been a jerk to everybody for years. Mm-hmm. You didn't even take care of Scott, the engineer's wife, who was dying of cancer. Why don't you own it, Howie?
Oh,
you freaking pelican.
I was wondering what your thoughts would be on that, because he uses in one part to say, well, all of my employees love me, but Ellen's the one who's pretending to be nice, and indeed she's horrible to her employees.
He said, I'm known on the air as a prick, but off the air, I'm known as a great guy, for the most part.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk to Jackie, Artie, Grillo, me.
Yeah.
Scott. I mean, there are so many people that will totally disagree with that. Even people that are there now that I know as a fact will disagree with that. Put it this way. One year, my Christmas bonus was a popcorn canister.
I love those.
You just like the way your poop looks after you consume one.
Yes.
Yeah, fecophile. But yeah, that story, because my brother used to work adjacent to Howard Stern. He was never with you guys during a serious period. But all he would hear would be nightmare stories about the way Howard would treat his staff. And I thought those lines were unbelievable.
What? I swear to you, Bill, I was going to save this rant for my own podcast today at noon, but screw it. I didn't know you were going to bring it up. When somebody tweeted that to me, I swear, my jaw dropped. I'm like, own it? You paid us pennies. You forced us to take whatever you would give us unless you would threaten to throw us off the show? Are you kidding me? Own it?
God, that is fascinating.
How come no one's coming out and trying to cancel Howard Stern then? Because if so many people have the stories like you're saying, they're canceling Ellen right now, they're taking down the big dogs. So where are all the people that are like, hi, I have a story about Howard Stern. Let's go for this.
Well, because people still think that he's as powerful as he once was, and they're afraid to tangle with him because they think that he's going to go after them. I don't have that kind of fear. But here's the other thing. Don't forget, Howard Stern in blackface, and how many bits did he do? And yet he's still on the air, and Sirius is negotiating a new contract with him. It's a media hypocrisy. That's all I could say.
Well, I had it on good authority that there were people that were hired for only one thing that's serious, and that was to go through his backlog of KNBC tapes where he said stuff that was really racist and really outrageous and edit it all out.
That's true.
I love you. Request permission to love you, Captain. That's like the biggest confirmation I've ever gotten on that story. But yeah, not like he's going to run for office or anything, but that stuff so does not jive with where we are right now as a society that he just wants it gone. And it's a lot of money to do all of this because, obviously it's years and years of material.
Well, I don't know if he hired someone separately because he's got like what I think is like 20 to 30 staff writers. Meanwhile, he's doing 3 days a week, and you need 30 writers to write that garbage? You haven't said something funny in 5 years.
Well, the other interesting thing about this story is it actually involves two people that you used to work with, because Jay Leno had earlier chimed in and fully supported Ellen. And he actually got bad feedback for that because even though he didn't take it, because how would he know what her workers went through? All he said was what he knew, which was essentially every time that I've been with Ellen or worked with Ellen, she's been a nice person. And I'm wondering what the similarities and differences were with your tenure with regards to The Tonight Show versus Howard's actions.
Well, see, here's the thing. Well, first of all, I've calmed down. Yeah, Howard could be a nice guy. He can be. So,
right.
It's not like he's a total monster.
Mm-hmm.
And Ellen, I played cards with Ellen. I have friends that work with her. And, she was really nice. So, I can't say what goes on behind the scenes. I know what went on behind the scenes with me at Stern. And it's in my book, where I explain like the things that I had a lot of problems with, that Jackie had a lot of problems with, that a lot of us had a lot of problems with. Now, as far as Jay Leno, they're complete opposites, because Jay Leno is 100% all day a good guy to everybody.
It seems like
everybody on his staff.
Yeah, no, that very much seems like that hits so.
And to the point that Cooper was talking about before, it's this idea of celebrity ego. So when the celebrity is also the boss in these situations, and you've had a length of career that spans over 30 years, you're bound to meet people and personalities that don't jive with your ego. So there's bound to be people who dislike you. I guess it's just the cleanup factor that some celebrities have more of an issue with.
Well, true. Look, it's no new news about Ellen. We've heard of that about Ellen for years. So, it's not like it's like a bombshell. This has been going on. There have been former people that work for her that have complained about her. And anybody in the business, if you will, I don't know if I still am anymore, but, have heard those kind of stories. So, look, I just think it's so hypocritical for Howard to tell Ellen to own it. To me, that's laughable. He should look in the mirror before he says something as stupid as that.
I've never worked with him. I've never met him. And I thought that was incredible. So I could not wait to hear what you thought. And I have to also say, perhaps today's show is magic because maybe you guys should collaborate, because Cooper's just written a great book on celebrity, and you've worked with two of the more famous people on planet Earth who have two wildly different personalities. I think there's an advice book out there for people that have worked under the biggest and weirdest type of egos, and that you could apply to any type of workplace.
But Bill, don't forget, we're also talking about the difference between like how they treat other celebrities versus how they treat their staff.
Yes.
The common people, the waiters, the taxi cab drivers. Every time Katy Perry came out in defense of Ellen, duh. Like, I didn't think for a second that Ellen was going to be a bitch to Katy Perry. Right. But I've got a friend that's been at the Ellen show from the very beginning, and let me tell you, she's got stories.
Yeah, let me just look. Just let's put this in a nutshell. If people really loved Howard as much as they did, why did his own staff release the Getting Things Done ridiculous, insane seminar that Howard did? That they actually taped it and released it to show how insane he was, taking credit for like Billy Corgan's career.
I didn't even know about that.
Oh my God! It's on YouTube.
I'm an
I
idiot.
covered it on my own show. Howard's sitting there in front of a screen. He has a Getting Things Done seminar where he's telling people to set up each staff member to set up 10 fake Twitter accounts and solicit celebrities, and then says he's responsible for like Adam Levine, all these guys careers and stuff. I swear to you, it's hysterical.
God. This almost sounds like that Tom Cruise Scientology award show he was at, as far as a tape that they didn't want out there.
Here it is.
Oh,
there
look
it
at
is.
that.
Yeah, there it is.
Was he the type of guy that would be like, "Don't make eye contact with me in the hallway"? I mean,
that's the thing, Bill. Like when I was there, he wasn't that type of guy. But what I heard now is that when he walks down the hallway, the staff, the guests. Put it this way, I heard from one staff member, I'm not going to say if he's still there or not, but his wife was so nervous because she actually went down the hallway to go to the bathroom and Howard was coming down it. And she felt that now she jeopardized his employment because she actually was in the same hallway that Howard was walking down when he was leaving the building.
Oh, God. And the other thing, too, is when you're around people like that, and even if they treat you well, you can still it can still be very stressful when you watch them treat others horribly. I have met Robin Givens a couple of times, and I have to say, even though she...
You mean the one that Howard had sex with, or the co-host Robin Quivers?
I said Givens. You know what? That might be racist. I might just get canceled, right?
Well, he did have sex with the other one, so...
Did he really? I forget the ones that they had sex
I know
with.
he dated her because I saw her, at his apartment when we were there for some reason.
God, the more I'm hearing, the more I'm just loving as far as this gossip is concerned. But she seemed like she had a little bit of battered wife syndrome just for the fact that, I think if you're around someone that is that you're always on edge with, day in and day out, it just gets to you, even if you're not in the bullseye of their terror or whatever you want to call it.
All right, well, put it this way, Bill. I know you didn't read my best-selling book, but it's okay.
I am now.
Oh, yeah, all this is in there. Robin Quivers, when I was leaving to go to Jay Leno, we had a heart-to-heart talk on the phone, and she said the same thing to my wife at the time. Sorry, the son's coming in here. But anyway, she said, "Listen, John, I can't blame you for leaving. I always say Howard doesn't pay anybody, and he should look over his shoulder because more and more people are going to leave. I might do my own thing, too." That's what she said to me. So,
Interesting.
She knew that, that Howard didn't pay anybody. It might be different now, but when we were there, I mean, just ask, have Steve Grillo on. He'll tell you that they didn't even, keep his job for over $2 a freaking an hour or something.
Oh God, yeah, I don't know what it's like now, but I will say this: when you look at the new contract he's probably going to get, how many lunches can you eat? You would hope that some of that actually goes back towards his staff, as far as just the ginormous numbers that he's getting.
Bill, I hate to cut you off, but and I do love you, even though you're responsible for having my co-host leave. I think because after my interview with you, I think I was too crass.
You were PG-13 at best. I was fine. I told you I knew exactly what I was going to be asked. Are you serious?
How could I not ask if he was having sex with Kaylee McEnany, who's, by the way, a really beautiful, beautiful woman? How could I not ask,
I knew exactly what I was getting into. No, I didn't have a problem with that at all. I just felt bad that I wasn't able to give you more of what you wanted. But it's
not like I asked to smell your fingers or anything.
Very hard to do when we're being as socially distant as two coasts. But
by the way, did you hear that Madonna actually had the COVID-19? But don't worry, the COVID-19 is going to be okay. But anyway, Bill, I'll tell you the story. All right, Scott the engineer. All right, that guy had. By the way, he got fired. By the way, I don't know if you know that. After being there for years.
Wow, I did not know that.
But this is where the bad blood started. Scott the engineer's wife was dying of cancer. Okay, so he now needs like $50,000 to help pay for his wife's chemo. So he asked Marcy Turk, a.k.a. Yoko Turco. That's the one who's she's the boss of everybody now. He asked her if he could set up a GoFundMe page. And she says, okay, but you can't say that you're from the Howard Stern Show, and you can't say that you're Scott the engineer. This is straight from Scott's mouth to me, because I had a private conversation on the phone. So he sets up the GoFundMe page. It totally embarrasses Howard, because why can't Howard pony up the 50 grand?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So he makes the 50 grand easily. But guess what? He's banished to another floor. He's written out of all scripts. And, so he actually tried to talk to Howard in the hallway. Howard said, you know that you're not allowed to talk to me.
Oh, man, that is, wow. Sounds about right. Makes me...
And then his wife dies. And this is a guy who worked with Howard for years. Does Howard go downstairs to offer his condolences? No. He emails Scott, I'm so sorry for your loss. Beth and I donated to a charity in your wife's name. That's it.
It's like you're never...
Was it 50 grand?
Yeah, I was going to say, like...
50 grand. The guy's worth $2 billion.
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Well, you guys, this was worth, I was right to be excited for today's show. Fucking wonderful. From both of your ends, any final plugs, promotions, prescription drugs you want to give us?
Just my podcast every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at noon, the Stuttering John podcast.
It's great.
It's the same podcast where I prank the president. And do me a favor, say hi to Anthony Cumia. Is it true that Is Keith not there anymore?
Yeah, apparently there was no acrimony, but he just, there's only so much stress one cop can have when running a network all on his own. But no, they're still buddies and everything. I mean, I know they'll still hang out. But yeah, he's no longer with us.
He's alive.
Yeah, that sounded like he
just
died.
not
Yeah,
here.
you don't need any thoughts and prayers.
Well, please, Bill, say hi to Anthony.
I will, buddy. And let's definitely hang out in a socially distant way next time you're in New York. Cooper, what do you got?
My book, Celebritocracy, is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and I would say wherever you buy books, but no one's going out to buy books, so just get it on Amazon. It's a great book. I think you'll be really shocked by some of the stories in there, what happened to the money from Live Aid, stuff like that.
Man.
It's very dishy. Yeah, you'll love it.
I love all of that shit. What a great idea. Well, you guys, two wonderful hosts, and sadly, we have to end this program